Mark here.
Jeff just texted me. He's like, "Are you guys on?" Almost there. It's banging around, banging something. Walt, we're getting bad feedback.
Wait a minute. Alright.
Like that quote, Walt? Well, we're still. Turn your sound off on your on your computer. Anna's on.
Oh, cool. Hello, Anna.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll here.
Let's go.
That was Steve.
Really?
Yeah, we are up. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, I got half of a picture here. So, hey Anna, hey Steve, hey Jeff, hey the Naz, hey everybody, hey Tom. I see you all on there. Sorry, hey Bill, hey. We had technical difficulties with stupid Skype and the NDI. We couldn't get it to work. I had to go back to Skype 7. So, no, Bill. All right, I tried. So, I welcome everyone to the latest Gabbin Lord Peak 7. I got Mark jumping in here. Walt couldn't come up. So, we got him on sound only. So, hey, look at this, man. Look at that. Massive amount of viewers to start off. Thank you all. This was a fun time. Mark's going to talk about a little bit. We're going to go do some interactions on some things. But we're a little behind on the followers here. Give me 1 second here, guys. I know this is bad. I gotta look at our new follower screen. These are people who we think have followed us since PAX started, and a lot of it has to do with Walt because while I was DMing, and you can see these pics on the right. This is the first day. I'm setting up playing. He's out. He's standing. He's playing standing because there were no seats. And he's mingling with all these people. And he's giving out my cards and talking to people. It was really cool. But So we're going to discuss what happened at PAX, my experiences, his experiences, and Mark's going to talk about when we talk about the groups that played. He's going to say a couple things what he saw at Gen Con. I think it'll be a fun topic of discussion. Thanks, Bill. Stop my whining. Well, here, take this. Take that.
You know what? It was a great experience.
Keep talking, Walt. Go for it.
You know, people that came up and saw our table, they were intrigued because Jay bought, houses, swamplands.
By Bill. Houses by Bill.
Nobody else was. Nobody else, I think, brought the terrain and everything else that Jay brought. So for Jay's first time, and it was like, oh my God, it's my first time doing this. Jay knocked it all.
Thank you very much. But go ahead, dude. Keep on giving me some praise. He was well. Let's start from the beginning. So I didn't know. Neither of us knew what to expect. So Walt, here's a great pick. That pick is fantastic. Okay, up right now. That tells the whole story. We got there early because we had no idea what we were going to do. We had no idea. I had never been there before, and PAX had it at least organized. There's a room next door to the room we're in here. We were at table number 1 because I had signed up online, which was cool. And so this is empty. By the time we left that day, it was packed. So after 5 hours of gaming, so we went there. There were lines, and it looked like you were freaking at Disney World, right? There were lines out the door. They said they had like 200 people in line to sign up for games. So our game was to start at like 11 o'clock, and you'd say, come pick up the sign-up sheet at 10:45. So we're setting up the table and all, and people start showing up, and we start hey, showing them the characters and stuff. And the older lady there, and I got everyone's name here, Donna, says, I'm on the wait list. I said, there's a wait list? So she said, yeah, there's a wait list for your game. I really am interested because there's no one else who's doing old school. I really want to play. And I said, well, you just sit there. I got extra characters. What number are you on the wait list? And she said it was 1 or 2. She was actually second on the wait list. I said, okay, no problem. And another gentleman came and he said, I'm on a wait list too. So it was really cool, but I only had so many characters, only so many chairs. So we had 9. I had 9 characters, and I had planned on playing an NPC. Well, we ended up with 9 players, and we had 10 players. I didn't have an NPC character. Go ahead, dude. Yep.
I would have done my character to play. So.
You would have, but there were no seats. We were out of seats. The table was only so big, as you could tell. So what we did was, I said, I don't need to play an NPC. You need to. So Walt stood the whole time. He didn't even sit. He played standing, and he's walking around the table. So it was pretty cool. We had a blast, and we had There were 2 girls that were twins. They didn't. One said she played a little bit. The other one said she had never played before, and so I gave them easy characters to play. Good.
You gave women characters to play, didn't you?
Yeah.
And her brother, and it was just.
Yeah.
I don't know who signed them up for it, but it probably was the best experience for them because holy shit, it was great.
So I ran an adventure called Raiders Against Breed's Landing. I looked it up, and our adventure, it was adventure number 630, and it was against the Lizard King. Okay, so we had a guy from our organization, Affiliate Old School Gamers, David Burke. He just friended me on Facebook, but I was talking to him. I was like, hey man, I'm glad you signed up. We had a couple other people who were like iffy on it, and we had a lot of people that showed up and wanted to jump in, but we just couldn't. I couldn't take any more. So what we did was everyone played one character, and I just ran with it, and I just let them decide what they wanted to do and what courses of action they wanted to take. And it was a very the first group was a very cooperative group, and it was really neat. You know, it was a lot of fun. So, Mark, when you played, was that the way it was for you out in?
It was really similar. So I mean, the way that they set them up was almost like tournament style, where just like you did, you set up a few characters, you have a specific client list. You get to know what the character is, and then it's just the interaction. It really depends on what the DM is looking for. I had the benefit of having DM Shane, and like I said, I mean his style is mostly around like the interaction and the role play and so forth. So there were some battle stuff, but it really wasn't heavily loaded towards that. It was a lot just more about getting along with the other players and understanding who they are, as well as the different characters it is that everybody's playing.
I really appreciated. And I said to everyone up front, I said, look, I've been playing with my friends, crotchety old men, in our late 40s, early 50s. I've never really DM'd out some little things in our house, never outside for complete strangers before, so I don't know how it was going to go. And it just flowed. It flowed so well. And Walt was up, and 90% of the pictures Walt's taking the whole time. I took like maybe 8 or 9 pictures. He took like 20, 25 pictures at least. I was really appreciative, and he's also mingling with the crowd. Of course, there was some women would come up, and he'd mingle with them too. And, it was good. But like we had a lot of people there that were really interested, and we said we played 1E, 2E, and a lot of the questions were, why do you do that? And I said, because our play style is a miniatures tabletop style. There's some pictures of some of the players. You can see it's not that crowded yet because we were one of the first tables to start. They said normally start times around 2:00 when it gets really heavy. So I just was a little shocked. A lot of people said some people didn't even know what 1E and 2E was, and it just was. It was really funny. It was funny that we had. Some really, I don't know. I looked at it as, man, I can take this opportunity and I can really showcase what we do on this small table. So when I put Bill's building with the rope on it and hanging down with the bell. What's that?
Yes, we did.
Who'd you lose?
Oh, we just lost you.
Am I here? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now.
That's bizarre. Wonder why that is. Am I still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
That's bizarre. Wonder why that happened.
Who knows? It's the internet.
Oh man. Okay, but I didn't break. What do you call it? I didn't break broadcast, did I?
Don't know. I didn't hear anything other than you say the thing I learned was.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just. Oh gosh, we having these issues again. Jeez. Okay, so. What I was saying is this is my opportunity to really work with 1E, 2E and discuss it and show off Bill's craftsmanship and show off I got a great group of players. I got a player here assisting, helping, making this an experience, and I think it went fantastically. And I put on that entry screen, I put what Carolyn, I believe it was. Christine La Persona said to me on Twitter that she had a great experience with it. And I was like, oh, this is great. I never thought I'd get an accolade from that. So it was a lot of fun. It was a blast from the first one. Go ahead, Walt.
Night that you got that response.
Yeah, we were there. We were still over. Walt and I were like wandering after that. So we're like, I'm burnt. What are we going to do? We went over. Where did we go to? We ate over at the field house. We ate over there. It was good. Came back. And then we went and we wandered the whole show, and oh my God, the show was huge. I don't know how big Gen Con is, Mark. You can describe that, or Anna or someone else online can really put up a word how huge Gen Con is. But it was I couldn't believe how. Now I know why Miniature Building Authority was on the wait list. There was no room for any other vendors at all. It was the entire convention center was packed, and there was a lot of great deals and stuff, and it was cool. So we wandered around a while, And we were beat, man. We were beat after the day, so we didn't go out drinking afterwards, man. That was not about in the plans to happen. But I don't know how many. There was a couple hundred vendors there, so yeah. Gen Con's like 4. I don't doubt that, and I can't wait till next year. It's like 4 times bigger. The thing. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Walt.
I think we will see a spike on Thursday night, because all I was telling people was we broadcast on Twitch on Thursday night. I was handing out your cards.
Cool.
Thursday night, we will see you.
All right. So Bill bust my stones, but I knew. So I had these made for PAX. All right. I had these business cards made. All right. It's a little. All right. I had them made because I know. But I've had people contact me on Twitter already from them, and it's all right. I mean, I had a business card made. I know Bill's a ball buster about it, but that's cool. So,
but Bill busts balls no matter what.
Yeah, so you can see the fight here. Here's the end fight with King Kawaliwani on the screen now. And they came down the slope. They went, all right, so they started into town. They saved the town. They came in through the swamp. The cultists, which were troglodytes and lizard men, had a trap set for them. There was crocodiles. There was ghouls and gas in the swamp. They went down this slope into this. I couldn't bring my rough-hewn stuff. It just was too heavy. There was no room in the box. Here's the last fight up on the screen now. And it was a blast. I mean, we had a lot of fun. Now, here's some good side stories. So if you see up top, you see the girl with there's a female figure up there with the footman's mace. That's the magic user bounty hunter, Kendra the retriever. So one of the 2 twin girls was playing her. In the first fight, she snuck around behind the building. Went behind a troglodyte, missed both attacks. I felt bad. Right? Second fight, snuck, went around, got behind a ghoul, fumbled, fell. Okay, I was feeling really bad for her now. I was feeling so upset for her, and I was thinking, so she snuck in here, went out all the way into the back, and then snuck up right next to the king to the shaman. The shaman already lightning bolted everyone, done a whole bunch of stuff, missed with the primary hand, hit with her horseman's mace secondary, and then rolled the knockout percent, and the entire table did what, Walt? The entire table cheered. It was awesome. The entire table cheered for her, and it's like she's like a 13, 14-year-old girl. I felt so glad, and the whole room stopped and looked over at her table because all the players cheered. I just thought that was so awesome. Yeah.
The fight did so quickly because of that.
Yeah.
Because she knocked that shaman out. Hello.
Yeah, but we had some firsts though, and this was a first. And Bill and Tom and anyone online, here's a first. So Donna had Candace the Bandit. She was 5th level. She got behind Bill's big building with the string, with the rope on it. She climbs it to get up there to get a better bow shot in the first fight. 92% climb walls. 97.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Second, she climbs up finally, goes across, and there's the rope that Bill has hanging down on that great building, right? She grabs it to swing down on it. I say, make a normal dexterity roll. 20. So, I don't recall. Yes. There you go. Tom's doing some linking up on there. Thanks, Tom. So I don't think we've ever had in 38 years someone in the same encounter fail a climb walls or a climbing twice and fall and take damage. I don't think that's ever happened.
Herself, though.
What's that?
She redeemed herself.
Yes, she did. Go ahead. What did she do?
She fired the arrow of...
Yes. All right. So she had she had an arrow of Nerol. Yeah, it's like an arrow of Eos but toned down. So an arrow of Nerol, you fire. It's a +3 arrow. It was her. I gave every one of them like a special item to use. I'm figuring that this was a good idea, and it was because they all had fun with it. So she had the arrow of Nerol. If you fire it and hits, it automatically critical hits.
Yeah.
So and that was a massive crit, and that was good too. And we had a lot of cooperation in the first group. We had people, the best David Burke from the Philadelphia Old School Gamers, he was there and he was sitting and he was playing my character Tabitha, the fighter mage. And he said, and he's an old guy like me, and so he goes, I think I know what the cause is so they captured one lizard man, and the lizard man, no one spoke lizard man, said King Kawaliwani, and he goes, I think I know what this is, but would my character know? And I said, well, the way we play it is if it's not an abused thing, if you have knowledge, an elf may have knowledge of what it is, please bring it out to the group and share it. And he talked about, I think this is a lizard king, and that's why the lizard men don't have any self-control and self-will. The lizard king is taking them over, and the troglodytes and all. And I said, yeah, that's, and so that group, what do you think, Walt? And I'm missing some highlights here and there. There were some really neat things. All right, so the other gentleman, a guy sitting to my left, he played Dex the Misunderstood. He played the Cleric Necromancer. And he was a young guy, probably like 22, 23, right, Walt? Something like that?
Yeah.
He figured out right away, man, I can stand back with my spectral hands up, and I can do whatever. I don't have to move. And he figured it out, and I was like, he's like, this is a great combination. Where'd you come up with this? And I said, well, it actually started with a specialty priestess of Ouija that we have. They have necromancer spells capability, and they get the special hand. They can heal through it. So a multi-class cleric necromancer like Salem has that too. And he was like, man, this is a great idea. I'm going to bring, in my group, I'm going to bring this up as an idea that this spell, so that you don't have to go, touching people during combat, that the healers can stay out of combat. And I said to him, well, you got the idea. You got the gist of the character. And he cast the burning hands through it once and stuff. It was great. It was so much fun, that group, that, I was on euphoric. I couldn't sleep. It was good. It was great. And then Walt couldn't come the second day. So Walt. So Mark, what?
Were there late on Sunday?
What's that?
I said that explained why you were there on Sunday morning.
Yeah, well, Saturday morning.
You know what?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like Jay said, I was handing out cards galore. Anyone that came up and was watching us play, I explained our thing. We've been playing for 30 years. I went through the whole spiel, and I'm telling you, a lot of people were like, holy shit. They were like,
yeah,
amazed by it. So,
Ambassador Walt.
That's why I'm wondering how we would get a spike come up for our following on Thursday, because that's what I said.
Yeah.
Like Thursday night. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't talk about doing this show at all or anything. But see, here's the thing. I'm so entrenched in what I'm doing, I don't watch what he's up to. And he's off talking we were in the front. We were right at the entrance. We were table number 1. So if you can see from this picture here, this is like this is the table next to us at the front door entrance. So we're to the right of this table. So everyone coming in goes to our table first in the RPG room, and it was great because the wall of all the books is on the far other side of the room. It was perfect. It was a perfect setup, and everyone came. It was just and he's off doing whatever he's doing, and I'm not paying attention to it. And he's like, "Oh, I gave out, I don't know, 50, 60 cards," and I'm like, "Holy." I wasn't, I'm entrenched in my DMing. And he's walking around. He'll be on this side of the table, rolls the dice. He'll be over on the other side helping out someone rolling the dice. It was great. Anna's idea. It was Anna's idea. I got to give Anna a lot of credit because she said, have one of your players. It was perfect. So Anna, thanks. I mean, it worked great. By the way, that's as follows up now. If you're on the Philly old school gamers, that's him with his daughter Miranda. He's a great guy. His name's Ben. He's from New York City. He DM'd for 24 hours. So he DM'd. He DM'd 10 hours. 10 hours Friday, 10 hours Saturday, and 4 hours today. He DM'd 24 hours. He did well over double what we did. He was there when my son and I left today. So it was a great experience. Now, day 2. We did day 2, and Walt wasn't there, and I woke up and I'm like, man, do I want to go over today and do it again? I'm a little hesitant. I don't have my whole group. I don't have my my right hand here. And I said, well, I got to figure out how to do this. So I condensed all the boxes down. Oh, here's the problem. All right, last thing from the previous group. They all wanted to keep their characters. I thought that was great, right? Oh, because I could put them on the nice card stock, color. You saw the pictures of them. And they were all real, except 2 of them were fake. I made up. All of them were NPCs, or one the dwarf, Erebus, was Walt's player character. So this didn't dawn on me that I don't have characters of this level set for tomorrow, and it took like 4 or 5 hours to make these characters up. And I ain't doing it at 12 o'clock at night when I got home. So what do? I woke up and I'm like, holy shit, what do I do now? I'm looking through all our lists. I'm like, Hitless Swords. I looked at our groups and I'm like, what group's 4th, 5th, and 6th level? The Hitless Swords. So I went through. I didn't get no Shadow Mage Assassin, no Witch. I stayed away from those. Got all the basic ones out. I put that on the Facebook post, the characters I used. And I photocopied them, and I gave them all little tweaks so that they could have better stuff. Like I gave all the clerics 17 wisdom so they get an extra 3rd level spell to help heal, that kind of stuff, right? And a couple extra items here and there. And I removed some of the stuff that some of you guys shouldn't have on your sheets to the public to see. But that's okay, and I went there, and I got there, and it's like 1 o'clock. And I hadn't met anyone from the Greyhawk channel at all the day before. Walt and I met none of them. Not a single one of them. And they were in the room 4 tables down, and we just didn't cross paths that day. So I went in and I talked to a bunch of people. I saw Lizzie. I saw the Opera Geek. I saw a couple of people, and I said hi to them and introduced myself. And then I went in and I signed up at 1:20 for this game. For 2 o'clock start, and he goes, that 40 minutes is really not a lot of time for people to sign up, because usually there's a rush. There's 9 o'clock, and then when it just and I said, well, look, I'll wing it. So the only go ahead, Mark. I'm good. Well,
it turned out great for you, though.
Well, I got lucky. So everyone, there's the building we're talking about with the rope up on the pick now. One of Bill's great things, and that's the rope she jumped down on and fell. So is that her down? That's her down. That's her underneath. See her with the bow? That's her underneath. So yeah, absolutely. She had fallen there. That was her second fall. By the way, another weird thing. Plastic figures and the painted metal figures, it's hard to match them up. So I had to hustle. It took me a while just to figure out what plastic figures to match up with the characters I had made. So I had to figure out plastic figures to match up with this new group of Hitless Sword characters, right? Because we don't have them. We have them all. I'm not taking the good painted figures. I took all plastic stuff. So there's the first map up of the swamp area of that. So they ran through, which was pretty neat. So that was another challenge. If you do pre-gens, photocopy them, scan them in. That's a mistake. I learned lesson from me was do not over preparedness is always a good thing. So that was one of the things I learned. Another thing I learned was don't carry too much shit in because you won't have any place to put it. So we had a backpack, we had a box, and we had the stratagem overlay. So the second day I'm by myself. So I got rid of the backpack, and I knew the library had the D&D book, so I only took, what did I do with it? Oh, I only took this with me. I only took my new Master Bible for tournaments for going away and stuff. I took this with all the custom stuff I put in it. Fumble tables, courtesy of Alan, all the other stuff that's all our house rules. I took that and all the other things I needed, got there, and Donna was standing outside. She goes, "Oh, you're DMing again today?" I said, "Yeah, I just got here." She goes, I don't want to play this 5e stuff. Sorry, Naz, I'm not busting 5e, please. I'm not. I'm just relaying a story as to what this lady who was she was in college in the 70s, so she was probably about 8 to 10 years older than me. And so she's like, there she is in the purple shirt on the left in the picture. So she says, "I want to play your game again." I said, well, Donna, it's going to be the same game with some different characters. She goes, "I don't care." I said, "Okay, no problem." So she signed right up, came over. She said, "I know your friend's not here. I can do the critical hit table for you if you want." And that was pretty cool. I said, "No, I think I can handle it. I got to learn how to do this on my own because my friends aren't going to be with me all the time." So we got a gentleman. I got a referral call from the coordinator of the RPG signups, and he said, "A guy named Peter yesterday missed your game, and he left his phone number. He wants to play if you DM again." So I called him, and he came right over, and he played the water. He played the water elementalist, so he played Ravati. Okay, cool. He played Ravati. He played two characters. He played Janik, my dwarf, and Ravati. Donna played Calliopelia, the Clark Mage Thief, and she played Merrick, Bill's Ranger. And then I had a guy, and you'll see a pic. Let me scan through if I can, because you'll know exactly the kind of guy I'm talking about. One sec here. Let me scan through to him because he was. You'll know exactly the type of guy in a minute. Oh, here we go. The second group. There, right there. the dude up with he's got the player's handbook shirt on. So his name was Joe, and Joe is old school, and Joe is a 1E, 2E guy and does his own games and stuff, and he's friends with the owners of the Days of Nights, which was really cool, in Delaware. And so he was like all in on this, but he was a little bit of a rules guy, kind of like Leonard Lakofka is. I had to say Leonard. Every show we got to say Leonard once, right? Okay, so, and I said, "Look, hey, I'm 1E, 2E. You know what happens. You remember back in the day?" And he goes, "Yeah, I know. There was nothing out. There was no Greyhawk box set. There was no From the Ashes box set. We had to make it up." I said, "Well, that's what we did. And everything that's in this binder, he loved the hero point rule. Hero points, the battle shouts for the fighters. He loved it, and he said, hey, at the end he said, I really appreciate you, saying, hey, stick in there." So he played, he played Gattaca, the Archer Druid. That's who he played. So, Walt, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think, man? You think I did okay the second time? It looks like.
Yes, it is. Sounds like you did awesome, okay. Dude.
Well, Donna, I want to say this. I want to give you a compliment. Donna said, I forget his name. Was the guy with the kilt? Your friend? He said he made everyone, especially the two twins. He made them all feel so comfortable, and it was great that you had your friend there to help out with the players, especially new ones. So there you go. There's your thumbs up, man. Like I said, I appreciate, and like I said, we wouldn't have a compilation of all the first day without Walt and his pictures. He was. It was fun. It was fun.
You know what the whole thing is like. I give you so much credit that you were able to go in the second day with the confidence you had.
Well, I wasn't confident that day. I'll be honest with you. When I first got there, I was like, should I even try to do this? And when I saw Donna there saying she wanted to play again, I was like, oh, okay, sounds good.
Cool.
So we started the second group. And we got to a point where I had them playing two characters, and I said, I'll play one NPC. And no one, and Joanne, they're like, what's wrong with this girl? Lawful Neutral Inquisitor, what's that? So I said, let me play that character. I'll play her. And I had her in a really bad mood, like she was in a foul mood, right? So then I had the brother and sister come, Philip and Lizzie. And Philip took Rafiki, your thug. So we had a thug each day, all right? And then she took fighter. She took Andrew Harlow. She took Alan's fighter with the short swords. Oh, let's go back. See this picture up here? A woman on the far left, Caroline. She got there late the first day, and there was one character left because all the characters were taken. I said, "Look, I'm sorry to stick you with this character, but the only character left is Fritz Winchester, the thug."
Oh my God, she played her.
She said, "This is the character I'd want to play." So she starts going, what's the first thing she says is, "What's the comeliness of all the girls in the group, all the females in the group?" That's the first thing she asked, and it was like, oh my gosh. And she started like playing Fritz, and as probably Fritz will be, a chaotic neutral, hitting on all the females in the party. It was perfect. It was perfect, and she played him perfectly the way a thug thief type should be played. And she said, as you saw in the beginning entry, Fritz Winchester will live on. And so maybe she's going to take Fritz. Fritz is the second character sheet on the left here. And he's going to be a new NPC of mine in the new first levels we're going to do. So a lot of these guys were play tested of characters I'm going to play coming up in our first level campaign, which is incidentally is next Sunday night's Gabbin talk. We're going to hopefully have every player here. We'll talk about that in a little bit, though. So all of us.
Literally, yeah. I don't think Jay could have played Fritz better than what she did. She was on par. It was amazing. She played him to the stage.
She didn't play him as an evil. She played him as a chaotic neutral. It was great.
Exactly.
Awesome.
It was good. So Mark, when you were at Gen Con, did you notice the alignments when you were playing with Shane a lot? Did you notice that people were playing in alignment, or that's a good question. That's a good question to ask.
A little bit different when it comes to alignments from what I understood. So there really wasn't an alignment slant to anything. It was, in my opinion, it was more about like the word I'm looking for, the stereotypical things that you would expect for a character.
Okay.
So, the thief was really sly and so forth, and then you had the mage that was, always like kind of like grabbing at his beard and always very thoughtful and so forth. And then the paladin was, of course, very pious and arrogant about, all the evil he was going to slay. The dwarf was a complete asshole. So it wasn't really getting into much of what you would figure for how good or bad the characters actually are based upon alignment. Right.
Okay. I know that's a big thing, and so in the second group, in the second day, Joe was, and I could tell, kind of like that 70s guy who's like, environmental type. And so his real good friend Jennifer came real late. So he had Tyra Corvinus, the Corsair, along. So she picked him up, and he went on the Archer Druid. He played the Druid extremely well, knowing this group. Here's the big difference. The second group immediately said, "Lizardmen, why do we want to kill lizardmen? Lizardmen shouldn't be doing this. Let's try and negotiate with them first, or talk with them first." A huge difference between the groups, which I found really intriguing that they decided to go that route. But then they saw the troglodytes there, and they said, and Joe's like, well, the Druid's not going to have any problem killing the troglodytes. They're inherently evil. They tried to do negotiating with it. They tried talking to lizardmen. Lizardmen wouldn't have any of it because, it's a... And then they captured one of the lizardmen, and Joe... Gattaca has Lizard Man, so that solved the problems of just getting the word King Kawaliwani out. he talked over and talked with this lizard man. Said, we're not going to kill you. And he said, well, and then the lizard man said, well, we have to do whatever Kalaliwani tells us. He's expanding his domain. This town is in the way. It has to go. He has the king has no place for druids like you. The whole thing. So that's how that went. And he was really great at role playing that out. And I think the two Philip and Lizzie who came were like pretty impressed by his knowledge of the game. And he said, I remember something in the Fiend Folio. And that's when and of course. Yeah, he goes, I remember. So I said, well, you're a druid. He goes, all right, guys. So I had to have this page. It's one of my favorite pages on the Fiend Folio. Take a look. Because it's got lava children on the page. So you got your Lizard King over here. And you got Lizard Kings, two of them, fighting lava children smiling. And you got the one Lizard King here choking the heck out of the smiling lava child. And everyone got a kick out of this both days. I had to take that page with me, a photocopy page of the Fiend. It's one of the most classic pictures in the Fiend Folio. So, and a lot of the people also said this. They said, normally it's against we fight orcs or ogres or whatever. Joe said, I've never run an adventure against a Lizard King, Lizard Men, and Troglodytes. He said this was great. It was different. It was a different spin. And I tried to get a little bit of a different spin to it. So that was fun. I mean, the second day went. There was a little more tension in the group the second day, and I think it had to do with Joe knowing a lot of the rules. And like for example, there's Jeff. Hey, we got two Jeffs on. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, lava children must die, Jeff. Exactly. So he was kind of a rules monger, and I butted heads with him a couple times. Not really badly, but he's like, why can't you move your full 12 inches then attack? And I explained to him the way we do engagement, and he got it. But he said, well, if I was DMing, I might do it differently. I said, that's okay. You're not DMing. So, I don't know. Mark, have you ever gotten that in your group at all yet? I think they're so raw in your group in Ohio.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of that type of stuff because they don't know a lot of the actual rules. So it doesn't really fall that. I mean, we run into the exact same problem here. Just because we played for so long, I think we're all kind of rules monitors in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're all our own rules mongers a little bit of a way, and that's why we have this. This stops the discussion. There you go. No, just no. And since no one else is in, for $25 a month, you can get the no, just no emote too. Crazy. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So I'm the only one who can use the no, just no emote. I mean, that goes all the way back to it's no, that's it. The discussion's over. Yeah.
So Jay, let me ask you a few questions to, kind of, get what the experience was more like for you.
Okay, cool.
You mentioned that you had people there that were interested because it was 1E2 and they kept asking why. Why would you play this?
Yes.
Were they people that were just inexperienced? Were they people that had played like third or fourth or fifth or Pathfinder or any other type of role games?
All right, so this is people outside of the table for the most part, because the people on the table wanted to play the old school. So I'm thinking this. I'm thinking 5e has taken over everything. Okay? Here's the thing. Walt and I went down to the Adventurers League. The line was, a half-mile long, Walt?
Oh my God.
And we got down there, and okay, once again, I'm not bashing anyone. There's people. I felt like I was at a Wendy's and something, and there was lines to order food or something weird. They had people. If you're tier 1, you go here. If you're tier 2, you can go here. If you're tier 3, you go here. But everyone's going tier. I mean, it's just like I don't know.
They ended up changing the sign-up time to an hour earlier because of the craziness that they were going through.
Yeah, the Adventurers League is big. It's so huge, and hey, that's great. I mean, it's brought Dungeons and Dragons to the millennial generation, right? Absolutely, and it gives you an inexpensive way to get into the game. I mean, think about it, guys. Our way of playing is not cheap, right? It's not. And you know, if I didn't have a wife that wasn't so understanding, I'd either be divorced or I don't know where I'd be, right? So that's, you know, she's very understanding and allows me to indulge my hobby, right? So, but Tom has a question. Mr. Tom, was the I don't like that one. Was the 1E2E tabletop foreign to some of the players at your table? If so, they rarely adapt. The answer to that is yes. Okay, and the answer is yes, but not in the reason you think. It's more of, I'm new to the game. I'm new to Dungeons and Dragons at all, and my uncle said 1E2E is probably where you want to go here, or the brother and sister that came the second day, you know, someone had mentioned to them that the 1E2E would be cool if you could get in one of those games because it's a little different than 5E and you want to experience that first. So that's the reason. It was more new players. The people that it was foreign to were the ones that Walt was talking to in the first day. You know, a lot of people didn't understand it at all. It's completely it's like a foreign language, and I understand. I'm thinking to myself, to us, it's second nature, right? You know, been playing since the '80s. You know, to us, that these books, they're like, oh, right? You know, aren't Arcana, except for the Cavalier, right? You know, Unearthed Arcana was our Bible for after Player's Handbook was Unearthed Arcana. Then we added a little Tome of Magic and Player's Option from second edition, right? And we added some stuff, a little sprinkling of third edition, some feat, things all customized. Yes, exactly. So we got into discussing. The second group. We got discussing some things, and I forget what came up, but Leonard Lakofka came up, and I was saying to Leonard bashes Trump all the time online, right? He hates him, right? So I said, well, when I was in in college or of that age, Ronald Reagan was president, and the brother and sister on the other side, the brother started snickering, and I said, how old do you think I am? And he said, oh, you're like 35. Yeah. I said, no, I'm 50. I said, thanks, man, but I'm 51 years old. He goes, and they both laughed. They said, we weren't born 15, 20 years later. So it just puts it in perspective that what we do every day and play is foreign to 95% of the players now, you know? And that's the thing. It's a foreign... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, that really started off with third edition and on.
Yeah.
Is where the whole D20 system really came about, got more mainstream. I mean, we got into it because, let's face it, I mean, we're nerds at heart. And so, nerds are typically good at understanding strategy and mathematics, politics, policy, those types of things. Because you are really tied to a lot of attention to detail and things of that nature. And so we naturally tied ourselves to it. So for us to go to a concept where they have in like third and on, where you have crazy things like half the magic users and barbarians and half-orc paladins, you look at it and go, what the hell were you thinking?
I know. We can't understand the we limit it to half ogre, half orc outside of the realm of the base races, right? Half ogre is always a base, but half ogre is the one we added in. We don't have minotaurs. We don't have a lot of the other tieflings. We allowed tieflings once. We had wingfolk. Remember, we had wingfolk back in the day, and that
no. You had wingfolk.
Yeah, that's yes, third edition. So, anyone have any questions online? I'll continue my story about the second group real quick here, but please hop in on this. So, second day went well. There was a little bit more butting heads. Like, for example, during the fight out in the swamp, Joe was trying to tell Donna, who has the only cleric who can turn, she's like, stop fighting the crocs. Stop fighting the crocs. Run up to the undead. Run up to the undead. Run up to the undead. And so she did that when the gas came out. And then she failed to turn. But, and then there was a little bit of the second group, the first day, the first encounter in the town. burned all their third level spells. So they only had like one each. There was an acid ball instead of a fireball, and there was a lightning bolt. They burned them all. They were gone. They had no third levels. They burned their not the healers, but the spellcasters. So, and like Donna, who had been there yesterday, is like, she looks at me because she's sitting to my right, and she goes, "That's not good for later on." I said, "Yeah, but you got to let people play the way they're playing. You know it. You got to, So they burned all their high level spells early on. And in fact, the guy, he's like, "I can cast a spell 1 to 4 levels higher, the acid ball." Okay, so he rolled a 9-die-6, right, for an elementalist, and there were six elite troglodytes coming in. He killed 4 of them on that. He did like 32 points of damage. But that was it. I mean, he burned that high-level spell he probably needed for later. So the end fight took longer because all they had left was McKelty's hold persons, right? They had the one spellcaster had a mage hold person, the water elementalist. That's Ravati, right? She has hold person, right? Yep. So she had acid ball and hold persons. So they held a whole bunch of stuff, and they didn't. They fought. They slugged it out. They slugged it out with the Lizard King and the Shaman. They did not spell down, except Gattaca, the Archer Druid. I'll give Joe credit this. He said it was one of the favorite mixed classes, multi-classes he ever played. Your character sheet, Walt. He shot the fairy arrows first at the king. Okay, so they're magic. I'm sorry, the shaman. No, the king. He shot them at. I apologize. He shot them at the shaman. He shot them at the shaman first. Lit the shaman up. Shaman had protection from normal missiles on in both adventures. Then he used those +2 arrows on the shaman and took the shaman down. There was a mirror image, and two spellcasters had their magic missiles. They knocked down the mirror image, and the shaman in both fights went down pretty fast. One because of a knockout, and the other because of arrows from an archer. So I found that really cool that they all knew to get that spellcaster down. I mean, that's the thing that went down pretty quickly in both groups. So that was good to see that the tactics were pretty viable. All right, so you see the kid up on the left there, Philip. I got to give him kudos, and I did this during the game, and he looked at me like, wow, you gave me a compliment. All right, so as a DM, we were in the swamp fight, and he had Rafiki, thug. He was hiding a lot because you have your enhanced abilities to do hide in shadows and move silently. He snuck up. He snuck up all the way up to where the ghouls were coming, ahead of the group. He did something that none of you guys ever do.
Really?
None of you. So probably a 16-year-old kid or whatever, how old he was, outsmarted 38 years of us playing. What was that, Mark? He set a trip trap with his set traps ability. And I was like that, and so he said, "Is there any branches or twigs around?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, I have this ability to set traps. I snuck up. Can I set traps and stay invisible? I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And he said, "Well, it's like 50%. I said, "Well, if you fail by 21%, you actually set it off on yourself." And he rolled like 0-4 or something. He set it up, and then he backed off a little bit. The first 2 ghouls came, and they tripped him. And I was like, that was brilliant. I said to him, I stopped it at the end of the round. I said to him, "I want to give you an unbelievable kudos for something that you've done that none of my players, besides have done in 38 years." and Joe, the old Joe, said, "You know what, Jay? You're too nice of a DM." I said, "I'm nice around strangers. I'm not nice around my players." But so that was a fun time. There was a little more tension in the second group, like I said, but there were some amazing moments. There were some really cool things that I saw. I saw a kid who picked up a character from scratch, looked down, and used one of the abilities, custom abilities. It was great. It was fantastic. And he would stay hidden until he didn't have to come out of a fight. So whenever something got held, like all the lizard men, I said, "You do maximum damage." He goes, "I'll be the lizard man killer of held ones." He went and backstabbed them. It was brilliant. I mean, it was, and his sister played Andrew the Fighter really well too, and they used so the one gentleman had Janek the Dwarf, the fighter, and he had Andrew the human, and they got our special ability. Okay, if anyone who online doesn't know, we have made a thing that we hate how some classes kind of aren't used like as much as they should because they're boring and they're simple. So we gave straight fighters, not multi-class fighters, special ability that I ripped off from World of Warcraft, and it's called Battle Shout or Demoralizing Shout. You get it at 4th level. It's a free action. You're basically screaming, odes to your fellow companions. It's a 10-foot radius, so anyone engaged immediately, you get a +1 to hit for 1 round per level, and they can use this ability 3 times per day. But they can do Demoralizing Shout on their enemies in the 10-foot area as well, either or. And it's a -1 for all enemies. You're cursing at them, you're doing whatever for 1 round per level. So the one gentleman, Peter, said, "Do they stack?" I said, "Great question. Kind of. Figure it out." And he looked at Lizzie, who was playing Andrew, and he said, "I'm going to do the Battle Shout, and you're going to do the Demoralizing Shout." And so they were fighting a whole bunch of lizard men, and he battle shouted. They had all +1 hit, and she Demoralizing shouted, and all the enemies got -1 hit. I was so cool. It was so cool to see that from people who didn't even know each other. So, so Mark, getting on your group, what do you think about how your players and your campaign are coming along with coordinating and working together? I'm interested to hear that. I mean, I'm sitting in on stuff, so what do you think?
So I think that they have really figured out a lot about how to do things, like when to lean in and when not to lean in, which when you're dealing with new players is always a hard thing.
Yeah.
I always like saying that when you have a group of new players, it's almost like watching a bunch of kids play soccer.
Right.
Like first year they play soccer, it's like every kid runs to the ball. They don't understand the concepts of playing their area and why it's important and so forth.
Yeah.
And the years are no different. Everybody just wants to go and attack, and so sometimes they learn the hard way because they get abused pretty bad by something that comes up, and then they've also kind of learned that nothing is always in a frontal position. That you got to keep an eye on the backside because I'll have stuff that'll come around and I'll flank them on stuff. To get them thinking about how to actually coordinate efforts between the entire group. And I was going to say, one of the things that I know I appreciate, when you get players that don't know all the rules, they will naturally lean on their regular ability to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
True. The concept of you feel that you see some smoke, but you can't see into the next room. And the concept of touching the door, like we were always taught as kids, you touch the door and the door is hot, and you know that the fire is on the other side. Well, experienced players like us, after 38 years, don't think about that kind of stuff because we're so ingrained in what the game allows you to really do.
Right.
Said you would never let us do any of the traps. It's not that we never thought of it. It's because you never gave us the opportunity to.
It's my fault. That was awesome, man. That was.
And going to that, we're going on this new group.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. Absolutely.
I think you've already said that there's 4 fighter clans.
Straight fighters, there's 4 of them in it. So,
and it's going full tuition, we're realizing, hey, fighters, are making their way back into the game.
Well, true, and a lot of people, in our world, fighters are the #1 class that gets double classed, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a great class to double class out of for a human. I'm trying to scan through here a little bit here. Human.
That way for all of us.
Yep. So, 3rd day, I'm not DMing. It's today. That's today.
Okay.
All right. A good question from Jeff Grimsparkle. Do you steer the players away from a course of action or direction, or did they story pretty much guide them to where they need to go? All right. So Jeff, I know my time frame here, and the tables. You got to get off the table because it may be reserved for someone else, right? So I start the first game at 11 o'clock. We ran an hour long. It was 11 to 3. Went to 4, so I went an hour long the first day. Knowing what I got to fit in that 4 or 5 hour window, I have to limit it. I know what I can get from playing with these guys from 7:30 to 11:30 every Thursday night. I know what I can fit into that time frame, and I got to assume it's going to go slower because I'm dealing with people who don't know what they're doing. So I said I'm going to have to limit this to 3 encounters. All right, with our style. Number 1. 2, it's got to be a very basic story that they can pick up the nuances on. So they got the Lizard King, so we knew,
Right.
I have to do that. And then 3, I got to make it interesting for them to think that they're doing a common goal thing, saving the town, doing that and helping the people. That's the answer is, I think that I directed them a little bit. Walt directed them a bit, but you have to do that in this kind of setting, as opposed to a tournament style or when you got some really hardcore players playing. It's a great question though. You gotta like. All right, I'll admit this. I fudged 1 or 2 in their favor critical hits in the first day that I didn't want at a certain time. I didn't want someone going down on, so I made them just normal hits. Okay, I think I had 2 of those. All right. The second day, I let them all roll. And they got really lucky that there were no major critical hits that took. They fumbled a lot the second day. I remember that there was a lot of fumbles. I fumbled a lot the second day. It was a typical bad roll day for the DM. So yeah, the DM. So what I'm admitting to you all, is I took DM's liberty sometimes to help out the party. So yes, I took some DM's liberty to help out the party. So continuing on with this other group, day 3. I took my son over. He's 8 years old, Shane. He wanted to play Catan, so we played this new Crops game, Catan, and this is that picture. I took the picture, so I'm not in it. It's pretty cool. You can actually kill all the crops permanently, which is a bad thing. That, pretty neat. Then we went over and played Magic. And, oh, God, I got the same damn shirt on. We played Magic, and he won. He beat me. He played a blue and black deck. I played a red and white deck. We kept all the decks. They gave him free. He got Wordling figures. You know those Wordlings from WizKids? Oh, nice. He got them free. Yeah, and then we ran into the 2 twins that played in my game on Friday. And they said, can we take a picture with Shane? And they were great. And they were like, wow, we had a great time at your game. And we told our uncle about it and all. And they were and we love our character sheets. And so he took a picture of them. It was a great day. I didn't take that many pictures, today because we were wandering around checking out stuff. So yeah, of course, yeah. Naz, man, you're going to be excited, man, about Thursday, I think. So yeah, it was a fantastic day. We had a lot of fun. 3 days went great.
And then the thing went on Friday when we went to the when Jay went to the swamplands that he set up. I was showing pictures of the original town that we had.
Right. That was good.
Thank you, Bill, for the buildings that he had made.
Yeah.
Were great. And they were like, oh shit, we went to 3 different phases.
Yeah.
On the setup, It was like
yes. I called it terrain. I called it scenery switches, terrain and scenery switches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And nobody ever Nobody did that.
Yeah, I mean, you had some guys with mats, the old mats with the squares on them, which was cool. I mean, it's not a place amenable to this style of gameplay. So I'll say this: I met Ben, who is as follows, okay, on the Philly Old School Gamers, and this guy put in 24 hours of DMing, and he played a hard. He's like, I'm going to see, the first day, he goes to Walt and me, I'm going to see how many characters I can kill today, right? That's what he said. He said, we're doing this mass combat thing, and I'm also going to let them regenerate and play other characters, but I'm going to see how many I can kill today. Just today. And I was like, okay. And that was really cool, but he has a lot of he plays different game systems. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, he says I DM Pathfinder, I DM some 4E, occasionally I DM some old school, I DM some basic, expert, and some other systems. So he was all over the place with stuff. And then we bumped into another guy, I bumped into our guy, Andy, who runs the site, the Philly Old School Gamers site. Realized late last night, after he was taking the pictures of the second group for me, I looked at him, I said, I know you're from somewhere. I know you. And then 5 minutes later, I went over to him and I go, we worked at Electronics Boutique together in 1992, didn't we? He goes, oh my God, you're my old boss, Jay Scott? I said, yeah. It was unbelievable. So a guy, So he was an ADM at Electronics Boutique in 1992. He's got the military helmet on. So he doesn't look, with that in his picture. I didn't know I know with his helmet off, with normal, I was like, oh my God, the people you meet, it's a small world, such a small world. So we were hanging out talking. They were playing some sci-fi game that day, and he's like, well, we're going to get together. He lives right near us. He lives in Glendora. So he was like, oh, cool, maybe I'll swing by sometime, or we'll go out and have a drink or whatever, hang out. I said, no problem, dude. I met some great friends. I made a lot of contacts. Walt, like I said, really made some great friends. The 3 days was fantastic. I am not doing another convention till Gen Con, I don't think. I'm not going to Gary Con. Sorry, Anna. Gary Con's too expensive. Listen to me. Too expensive. But I think Gen Con's the next one I'm going to do. Mark's going to be there. Yep. Mark's players are going to be there. Jeff is going to be there. Alan may be there. We'll see. But we're staying in the hostel with the Greyhawk channel. That's going to be fun. So, we'll be hanging out with Shane. Anna's going to be there. It's going to be a great time. I know it's a long way off, but I'll be looking forward to Gen Con whenever that comes. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a small convention here or there in the area. I may do something really small. Who knows? But nothing crazy again. But this was I wouldn't trade the experience for anything. It was fantastic. Seeing how many free play RPG games are out there was amazing. I saw someone playing Traveler with the old. He had 22 of the old black little fold things. Books. Yes.
Star Wars was so big.
So Celestian, I lived like 6 miles from Philly, so I drove in every day. So we all live in South Jersey, except for Mark, who moved from South Jersey to Ohio. So, yep, that's where we are. So we live right outside Philadelphia, for instance. Star Wars was huge. The Star Wars card playing was bigger than the Magic side. And
it was amazing.
It was huge. All right, what was mostly played at PAX? So that's a good question. All right. The card playing tournaments, we'll eliminate that. We're going to talk RPG only, okay? RPG only, 5e by far. They had the entire one wing around the corner was just all 5e. They had the new one out, you know how they bring the game systems out? What's it, Xanathars or whatever guide? The one that's the Beholder. They had a room just dedicated to that, an entire room, and they had all these. I don't know where these guys. If these are Adventurers League Tier 3. I don't know. I don't know how that works. They had an entire room dedicated to that. They had the Tier 1 room, the Tier 2 room, and the Tier 3 room, which is crazy. So by far 5e. There was a lot of Pathfinder being played, a lot of Pathfinder as well, because Pathfinder is still supported.
Yeah.
So the classic RPG room though was full the entire time, and there was an overflow room. So there's a room and a half to the classic RPGs. There was very little 1E, 2E being played. I didn't see any 4E being played, but there were a lot of other games like Palladium, RuneQuest, old stuff. There was someone playing Gamma World. I saw one Gamma World game, one Traveler game, some GURPS here and there. I mean, some old stuff like that. But I didn't see anyone else playing. I didn't
tell you at Gen Con,
yeah.
all of those are heavily used.
Yeah.
Your Shadowrun rooms. There were GURPS rooms. There were 3 and 4E rooms, so forth.
Yeah, so Naz, I had 1E, 2E? No. So Joe, who played at my table on Saturday, when Shane and I, my son and I got there, he was doing a game in the overflow room, 1E, 2E. He was doing it, and he had his old player's handbook, his old Dungeon Master's Guide, and his old Monster Manual, and that was it. He said he didn't have an Arcana there with him. Oh, all right, ready? I have to tell you this about Joe. Joe has one of 100. He has number 99 of 100, brown cover, perfect condition from the convention in '77, Shokanth.
Wow.
It's worth $3,500. Okay? He also has number 99. I don't know how he got 99 both times. 99 of 300. Original Tomokan from the conventions. Because he went to the conventions when it was at Widener College in 78, 77, 78, 79. And the one at Glassboro. He went to those back then. Yeah, Anna, you see, it's crazy. He has them. And he said he was going to buy 2 of the Tomoakans, but they were $7. I said to him, he showed me on his phone. He didn't even text him to me. He showed me on his phone. And he said, one of them signed. He said, I think it's Tomokan. He said to me, you never thought, like, it's like your baseball card when you're a kid. You never thought it would be this crazy, you know? So, but I never in my life seen a Shokanth, one of the original ones. Never. I mean, even Grodog doesn't have one of those on his site, I don't think. Shown with the actual, I don't even think he does. And that's how rare it is. It's like the holy grail of the game, right? It's even more rare than the, what do you call it? It's the Egg of the Phoenix ones, the R series ones. It's even more rare than that. So, yeah. Hey, dude, let me tell you something. We got some old stuff here, but it gets a lot of beat up and used. I got some sealed box sets, but I beat the hell out of my old modules. So, I don't have anything of that. I got some that are some decent value, but nothing super major like that. But it was cool. I mean, just, you meet people and you get a weird thing about them. And the weird thing about Joe was, Joe has 2 things I'd cover. so rare, holy grails. So, Walt, what do you think? What's your best experience as we try and close this? Did I just lose Walt? I think I lost Walt.
Yeah, I think yep.
All right, well, maybe he'll hop on the other way. All right, so guys, tonight we got so many people on. When we end this, we're going to raid another channel, okay? I think it's only fair. We've been raided a couple times. I'm thinking either TP. I think Shane's up. He doesn't. We just raided him last time we did it. I'm looking here.
Skagith's channel's up too.
Skagith, but Skagith isn't doing D&D right now. He's playing Red Dead. It says golf with your friends. He's playing Red Dead Redemption, I think. If he was playing Dungeons and Dragons, he'd be doing Dungeons and Dragons. I think we're going to do the TPK game site. I think we'll do those guys. So, but that's at the end. We'll do a raid. We'll hit up on them with a raid in the end. So I won't go to an end screen when we decide to raid them, and just you'll hop in, just say hi. You don't have to stay on there. It's kind of a cool thing though. But we got so many people on tonight. Thank you. Did you think it was possible that we were going to beat the record on Anna's show? I didn't think it was, but it looks like we have. So, everyone, I really appreciate it. So, sorry, Walt's not going to have a final thought. Here's my final thought. Go into something, even if you're a little hesitant or scared about it, and just have at it and do your best at it and keep yourself open to new ideas and meeting people, and it'll be worthwhile to you. And I'm so glad I did it. I'm happy that I took my son over there today. He had a blast. It was so much fun. I'm not happy that I went to the WizKids table or booth that the last day they said, well, we're trying to get rid of everything. All figures are $5, including those freaking Beholder figures that everyone wants. You know those ones I'm talking about that are $24.99? And I got there, they were sold out of those. So I didn't get one of the Beholder figures, but I got some other stuff for Bill to paint. Like, he doesn't have enough stuff to paint already, right? He's got enough shit to paint, right? So, yeah. But yeah, absolutely, Jeff. We got to catch up, man. Definitely go out to lunch or dinner or something like that. Hang out. We'll get everyone together. We'll get Walt and we'll get Bill and we'll get a whole bunch of people together. I'm looking forward to that. So here's what's coming up. Mark, you got a final thought before we do what's coming up?
No, not at all.
Okay. Here's what's coming up. Tomorrow night, Mark is up DMing Siege at Bordrin's Watch.
Yep.
The adventures of the stupendously lucky adventuring party, or as Bill Haley likes to say, the super large attack penis. Yep. The adventures of the slap. I will be on and off because my wife actually has a late appointment. I gotta do some things with my son, but Candace will be around. My picture won't be up, but I'll be sound connected. But it's Mark's thing to run. 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Okay.
Yep.
Thursday night.
If you're not, it's going to be not a lot of role play. It's going to be an awful lot more of more like battle scenes and so forth. So unfortunately, you won't get to see George's House of Beef and Cheese again.
Oh man! See, now I was so looking for. Well, George, yeah, there's only that was a fun time, man. We had a blast with that. That was great. So some other things. Thursday night, we continue Elemental Evil in the Lort Mills. The group, The Reborn. And by the way, did anyone see the vid? It says Theo's Heroes at the top. I made a mistake. Yeah, duh. It's, all right, so the adventure group, The Reborn, has gone into the Lort Mills to help the SM Mining Interest Limited, which stands for Schlemmen Meal, one of Walt's characters. A super high level dwarf to rid a bunch of frost giants. Frost giants haven't been seen in this area of the Lort Mills in decades. So what's going on with that? I will say this, that Tom's character casts a very nice wall of fire up in there. Those figures from WizKids, the walls of fire, walls of ice, have come in handy in the last couple adventures we've used, and it's been great. So yes, so that was a good that's going on Thursday. And then next Sunday, let's hope. I want to have everyone on from our group. Mark.
Before you
go for it. Yes. Thursday. Yes. Yes. Okay. Sorry. That's why. Mark. Thank you. Okay. Here's what's going on. Thursday night at 11 p.m. Of course, we put it a little late in the evening. 11 p.m. Eastern is our next Miniature Building Authority giveaway. It is for subscribers and followers. Subscribers based on their subscription tier level and the amount of cheer, every 1,200 cheer, which gives them a bonus point. They are eligible for a $75 gift certificate. So some of the people on that list are the Naz, Sublime, Sprocketeer, R3KD got in right at the end from last when he did the BattleTech guy. Low is eligible. I'm missing Jeff, Jacob Jansen. I'm missing. There's a whole bunch of people. It's like it's triple what it was the last quarter, which I appreciate it, guys. So we roll 30-sided die, and I will text everyone their numbers beforehand on Twitch, or if I know you personally, I'll text. People in my group are not eligible. Okay, so just know that. And very close friends of mine, like Ross and Ante, they're not eligible. $75 gift certificate to Miniature Building Authority. Followers, all you need to do is be on. Be on tomorrow night. Look at that. Another subscription from Jeff. He's up again. Oh my gosh, he went tier 3. So he can use...
No, just no.
Come on, Jeff, you got to do it. Use... Come on, man. Use Bill. Use no, just no. We appreciate it, Jeff, man. We appreciate the support. Thank you so very much. You by far our top supporter, and I mean, it means a lot to us. I know, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait for Gen Con. So, and with all of us out there hanging out. What was that, Mark?
I said you support Jay more than we do.
So, followers, all you need to do is be online. And I know it's tough for a lot of people, and we don't ask for money. We don't. So, thanks, Jeff. Your generosity's been great. I appreciate some of the other things you're doing, your tabletop and all that. I mean, it makes Mark's game fantastic, and you got little bit of a different followers. You got different people watching than this show, and my show, which is great. You got your own following out there in Ohio, and that's fantastic. And it all has to do with that table you built, and the players you have, and Mark DMing. It all puts together into a big picture, and it's fantastic. Followers, just be on at 11 p.m. Eastern Thursday. I'd like you to come on a little earlier than that to watch the adventure, right? But be on. If you're on at 11, you're eligible. Everyone gets 1 point. Everyone gets one roll, one number. We were going to do a roll right down the list. I know who the frickin' Commander Root bots are on here. It'll have to be a follower who was a follower before, previously. And you get a $25 gift certificate to Miniature Building Authority. Okay? So Miniature Building Authority is our sponsor. They've been great. They've given us a lot of great off deals and discounts on some of the stuff we've been using. And they do this for us every quarter. So this is our giveaway this Thursday, December 6th. They give us $100. I mean, it's free. It's free stuff. So I know that Naz is working out some issues with them on his order from he won the 25 one last time. So that's Thursday. And then Sunday, I got even a show. I thought this show was going to be after Anna, because it's hard to top Anna, right? It was. That was our best Gabbin. It's still our best Gabbin to date last week, right? Next week, I think is going to be fantastic Gabbin. I'm going to set it for 2 hours, starting at 7:30. If we got to move it up, check the events. We may have to move it up, move it back. We'll see. Because I want everyone to participate. That's Mark, Tom, who hasn't been on yet on Skype. You haven't seen Tom on Skype yet, only on the game. Bill, Alan, and Walt. We're going to talk about our new first level campaign coming up based out of the Sus Forest. This is, if you guys remember the adventure Attack at Winchester's Bulwark with the big keep up in the castle, that was a prelude to this new first. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back about what happened at Winchester's Bulwark, where they are now at that location, why we're doing the campaign here. It was all Bill's idea, by the way. Kudos to Bill, please. And then we're going to all talk about our character development. So I think Naz, that'll help you. We're going to talk about the characters we're making up, what their background stories are, where they're coming from, why they're here. Give you a little feel for how we start up a group from scratch, from first. I think it'll be extremely intriguing to know, the insights in Anna's campaign was unbelievable. That's what I want to give you guys here that are watching. I want to give you guys insights to what we do and why we do it. So that'll be a great one. And like I said, that's next Sunday. It's it's discussion about our new first level. And we're going to just talk about where it goes from there. And we're not making a 6th date. I'm sorry. Bill has to paint all these figures. I don't know how many you got left. Yeah, Bill was a genius.
4.
It was great.
He's got 4 left, 3 with your mind. Because I just gave him the color tonight.
He needed to paint 18 characters. Because you know how we do joint experience groups. So I have 3 NPCs. Everyone has 3 characters. They all play them at the same time. He's got 4 characters left to paint. This adventure we're doing now is going to take this week and next week. That'll take us through the 13th. And then I'm assuming the 20th may be a one-nighter because it's right near the holidays, and who knows what's going to happen over the holidays. So that's the goal for the new group. I appreciate everyone coming on, man. It's been such a blast. This one, I thought we were going to have some technical difficulties, or we got it off. But thanks a lot. The support has been unbelievable. We're just going to keep on rocking and rolling and bringing our style of game play out to everyone, and that's what it's all about. It's all, just we want to bring it. Old school has its place. I know, Anna, if you saw this, I put a message out to all the people in the new Greyhawk group. There's 8 of us right now. I want to get things rolling on that too. So I reached out to Shane on this, but my idea is this, and I want to host this because it's my idea. So you got some pull with Shane and them. I want all those 8 people to come, and I want the roundtable initial discussion to talk about ideas and stuff to be online and streamed. I think it would be great to put that out to the community as well. So if you could help me with that, bring that idea out to stream the some of the maybe not the initial one, but a session where we brainstorm on what we're doing in Greyhawk, the future of Greyhawk group. I think that would be a great idea. So I'm putting it out there now, so I can lay claim to that idea. So. Other than that, if we don't have anything else, let's hit up TPK Games. Let's raid these guys. Thanks, Anna. Excellent. Thank you very much. And I can't wait for my Christmas gift. Our group can't wait for the Patreon Christmas gift you're going to be sending everyone. I got that email. I'm going to forward it to all my players that you sent. All right. Thank you all. Let's see if this works. All right, here we go. Sprocket just got here. Just in time. All right, Sprocket, be on Thursday. You're eligible for the subscriber giveaway $75 gift certificate because you were a subscriber in gift, so you're eligible. You got some points. So here we go. All right, let me see if this works. Raid TPK _games. I hope this works. Okay, there it goes. Yep. Click that up, guys. We're going to hit them up. Now I'm going to move my mic over to the other side here because I don't have any sound on that. So, all right, here we go. 19 viewers, great. All right, here we go. Raid time. Thanks, guys. I'll see y'all. Hey, see you all tomorrow night. All right, for Marks. Siege of Orchard Watch. Thanks.
It just went from 6 to 26.
Exactly. So that was great, dude. Oh, I never ended my broadcast.